Hey folks, it's Demo Man here, and I am with Gluestick and DBS Die by Science. We're gonna do a quick discussion on Star Citizen. It's the first one I've had like this on my channel. Right, so we're gonna talk about 2.6 and other things Star Citizen. So, you guys, what do you guys think of Star Marine? Like, you know, Gluestick, what do you think of Star Marine?
I think it's going to be add a lot of new stuff to the game. At the moment, there's not a load of first-person combat that's really necessary because there's not really a lot of like hostile NPC, or like you don't really get into a position in the game where you find yourself fighting other pilots. So it gives you a chance to actually use that mechanic of the game a little bit more and to be able to practice for what it is going to be like later on in the game.
Exactly, that's pretty well said. What about you, DBS? What do you think of
Well,
Star
that's
Marine?
pretty much what I agree with entirely. I mean, there isn't enough chance to exercise the mechanic. I mean, take for example the fight we've just had, just the three of us just mucking around on a Starfarer, close quarters combat. That was actually fun, and there's not really a lot of that element to it, you know. I think that's actually one of the interesting things when this is much later on when the and nothing to do with Star Marine per se, because when the trading thing comes in, there's going to be that whole cargo element. Things are going to get a bit more exciting then. But as far as Star Marine goes, it's definitely going to give people a chance to test out the weapons, the first-person combat, and it also allowed the dev teams to nail out all the kinks in the FPS combat as well, because on occasion there are a few kinks there. You get caught on little glitches, sometimes things like the medipens. I've got one stuck in my hand right now. Just little tweaks and bugs to smash as they go.
Yeah.
But it's definitely definitely going to open up some new playing field as well.
Yep.
That allows people to get into combat.
Moving on to the flight model rebalance. Gluestick, what do you think of that?
I'm not sure. I mean, the way that we play it at the moment, because obviously other people won't know, but the three of us, we do a lot of combat in private matches, and it very often does just turn into jousting matches of you fly at the other person, you get some shots in, you possibly hit them, and then you immediately do a 180, turn around, and fly straight back at them. So it's a bit of a boring mechanic in the way it works.
Yeah.
So if they slow it down and make it a bit more about finesse, maybe change up the controls a little bit, not a lot, but it'll make it more interesting rather than just fly in straight line, see if I hit them, turn around and try again.
Yep, exactly. Make it more fluid, like instead of being just static like people.
Yeah, an actual dogfight rather than a jousting match.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, DBS? How do you feel about it?
Well, it's actually one of the reasons why I've customized controls all to hell. I mean, W and S for me are straight forward and backward, even in couple mode. And my throttle's on my mouse wheel. No, I don't have joystick and throttle for those who... So, and that's what I'm stuck with. And because of that, I'm always constantly strafing like a space helicopter. I'm always going side to side, up or down or backwards. I'm never actually going straight at someone. Sometimes I do go straight at someone if someone's got a lock on me, and I will do the exact same thing, whiz past not to get shot. But there's that much emphasis on not getting hit. You're not doing much emphasis on doing any hits. And when we're all three of us in savers, it's just that the first ones have the first glitch, hiccup, mistake, or roll and barrel roll right into a rock is the first one to lose, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You just get repetitively silly.
Yeah, I mean, it's good though. I mean, it's good.
One of the things I hate about the AI as well, and I know there's loads of bugs to fix, but when they keep pulling these damn stoppies, again, that's why I don't like having. I put my throttle to flat zero in combat.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like using the Andromeda so much for as well, because it's that slow. It's got more of a. It feels like an actual fight because it's slower. Even though I got one of ours saying that I flew it like a hornet, which is not actually far from the truth. I've constantly got afterburner on, so I've got maximum maneuverability.
Right. So, for anyone watching this or listening, Gluestick and I both use joysticks. We use the X52 Pro, and DBS uses mouse and keyboard. Right. Moving on to the new music logic system. What do you guys think of that? Have you seen it or heard it?
No.
Okay. Right.
I've always loved dynamic music, so
well, I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how it works.
Bring on the dynamic music, as far as I'm concerned.
Basically, the music will play when you actually get into like a scenario where, like, say if you were walking around on Port of the Star, there won't be much going on in terms of music. It'd be very like
Yeah.
relaxing and stuff. But say if someone starts shooting at you, the music will start to get more and more combat based and more fast paced and more intense. What do you guys think of that?
Personally, I think I quite like that in games. Like, the music should match the surroundings, and in games, especially like a game Dishonored, the music changes once everyone's dead. It lets you know and stuff like that. So it'll kind of add more integration to it.
Yeah,
It'll like make you feel like it'll be more realistic. You'll feel like you're there type thing.
Immersive.
Yeah, immersive. That's the
yeah,
word.
that's the one. Right. So DBS, how do you feel about it?
The same way I felt about having music in Mass Effect, I absolutely loved it. I mean, if you played the Mass Effect series all the way through, you've played the first one. Glue's done the. You've done all three of them, haven't you?
I've played all three.
Looking forward to Andromeda. However, that's.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's just going to be as good. But back to this. Again, dynamic music in space games always has this true epic feel. I mean, whether it's Squadron 42 or it's the universe when that becomes a thing, having the dynamic music is always just going to have that epic and sometimes eye-watering feel. For example, if the music changes where you're in space, you do your atmospheric entry, you're on the planet, sunrise comes up, just laying the scene here. Having the dynamic music to fill that is just... the hairs on your skin just stand on end.
So yeah, like, so what do you two think, well, Blue Six, starting off with you, what do you think of Chris Roberts' Dream?
I've not really heard a lot about it as of right yet.
Oh, Star Citizen. What do you think of the way Star Citizen's going at the moment?
I mean, in comparison to the way it was when I first started playing, it's a lot better now. The server-side stuff has increased a lot. You couldn't really play a couple months ago because the servers would crash. You'd get between 10 and 20 frames, and you couldn't play.
Yeah.
There was a lot of crashes with like the ships and getting in and flying, but it's a lot better now. And in comparison to other games of its type, like Elite Dangerous, this is more fleshed out. There's already more to do. There's already more of an immersive like feel to it. There's like specific missions. You've already got voice acting in it, so you've got a character you can associate with. The moving around and the first person stuff already is well done. And when they bring in like planets and being able to land and actually doing missions and alien species and stuff and planetary monsters, it's gonna change the way the game plays again.
Yeah.
Because you then getting used to another environment.
Yeah.
And the way they've got it working with already first-person combat with in space, if you're outside a ship, it works. The controls they're natural. They're just like any other first-person shooter. It's nothing new to learn. And the system for buying armor and weapons is easy to use, and it wouldn't take you a massive amount of time to be able to do missions and get the funds to get yourself some heavy armor or a better flight suit. So I think the way that this game is going, especially when they bring out they expand it a lot more, is going to be probably one of the best games out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if people think the game is alive now, it's going to feel real wild when 3.0 comes out. Right, so DBS, what are your thoughts on it?
Obviously, I'm loving the vision Chris Roberts is having. The freedom without having a publisher, the crowdfund, the community support for this is absolutely fantastic. And actually, I was watching some videos, interesting enough, about a lot of people are wondering, because of One Man's Lie, to avoid trademark, people have been wondering, is it going to go the same way? And obviously the video concludes because the answer is no. I mean, it's not a question of just the funding and the vision and the publisher. I think this is actually worth saying just one time that this isn't going to be the same as One Man's Lie, because this game doesn't even have the whole skybox thing going on. I mean, I've seen from videos that does, but even in the standard universe, the universe that's available right now, you can see everything is just there completely. It's just like all one big map with the ships inside it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love the vision Chris is having, and he's just can do attitude, just get it done, make it happen. I was enjoying the Citizen Con where he's saying, I don't think you're thinking big enough.
But yeah.
So there's a lot to look forward to. Obviously, we want the game out, but we want it properly done. Publishers trying to just put it out there for the money. And obviously, I like the idea that we're getting a game for us, a game that's made for us, a game that we want, not a game that publishers think, oh, this will give us the most money. Oh, microtransactions. Yes, no. No. Oh, that means yes. We'll do those too.
Right. Moving on. Let's talk about new Pirate Swarm arena coming in 2.6 in Arena Commander. That's gonna be fun. You guys looking forward to that?
Yeah, well, the Arena Commander's already there with sort of the battle you can do against waves of enemies. Is already fun as it is. It's the best place to probably learn how to fly as many ships as you can, especially with the however long it's been going, that you can use whatever ship you want at the moment. So it's giving you the freedom to explore, and if they can improve on that, then they've got to, because it's already good as it is. Expanding on it and giving you something else to do will be much better.
Yeah, exactly. What about you, DBS? How do you feel about Pirate Swarm Arena?
Nice to shoot at something other than Vandal Swarm ships. That'd be nice, especially since some of them are so damn hard to hit. It's a lot easier to hit a Cutlass Black than it is a Vandal Scythe, that's for certain. Well, aiming issues aside, obviously it's nice to see something different, but again, it's really just facing off against a different ship, so it's the same way of combat. I mean, again, it's nice because they do like the pirate ships to be bigger to hit, so. But I suppose it's also good because it also means that the AI is using ships that you would normally encounter that players would be more likely to use.
Right, so let's quickly go back to Star Marine here quickly. Star Marine's gonna have 2 new locations: Station Damien, which is a 4v4, Echo 11, which is a 12v12. The game modes are Deathmatch and Control, so that's like a capture and control kind of thing. The new content will be new armor, weapons, and grenades. Grenades are pretty important in my opinion because they had a new dynamic. Tactical visor with radar, friendly player identification, which is something that we need desperately in the game right now. A looting system implemented, and achievements and ribbons. So, starting with you, Gluestick, what do you think of that?
Well, I've always been in games like Halo. I've always liked team deathmatch and like control point type matches, and they'll be fun because they're like the kind of basics for when you play in any kind of first-person shooter. Those are the kind of game types you want.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to do like too much too soon with it type thing. I'd rather they like bring it in gradually, work out what works and what doesn't. Like they need, like if they're bringing grenades in, as you say, it's a new dynamic. They need to work out as to whether the grenades work in the way they want them to, or the way they feel like they should in a first-person combat scenario. But 4v4, it obviously depends on like map sizes and stuff, because if you're doing 4v4 and then 12v12, there's a very significant difference in team sizes. So you want to make sure that the maps are going to be good, and all of that, because otherwise it's going to be running around not being able to find someone, or constantly being just spawning in and dying if the map's too small.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what was it, the latest Halo game, we had that problem where some of the map spawn points were just absolutely horrendous. And you just get it killed all the time in a free-for-all even. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
So, DBS, what are your thoughts on Star Marine, like the new locations and weapons?
Well, first and foremost, I haven't seen them yet, so I can't really speculate. But obviously, like I said before, it's something I'm particularly looking forward to. And as far as the spawning thing, well, obviously, I don't know if he's just like spawning some random section like on a Halo game, or if there's like going to be a spawn room in something like Crisis. I think of Crisis because of the Cry engine, but in the original Crisis on the PC multiplayer, you'd have like this base where you'd spawn and you'd bring in the vehicles and such. And I don't think it's going to be that big. The Star Marine perspective, I don't think it's going to be like that big, massive. Because it was like, what was it, 30, 40 people versus another 40 people, tanks, jet plane. Well, not jet planes. There was anyway. Never mind.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is they might actually go with a spawn room in particularly large rooms. Of course, you've got your people asking questions. What if said team camps outside this spawn room and starts shooting? I don't know. It's a balance. It's always a balancing act.
Yeah.
And trying to get a good multiplayer experience that's try having multiplayer experience that's troll free. How easy is that? Let's be honest. But
in a way, CIG have sort of got a solution to these problems. They've got the Advocati right now running it on a version of 2.5, doing tests on it as we speak, which is good. I'm looking forward to Star Marine personally. Like, I can't wait to have that Star Citizen first person.
I know that's an itch you've been having for a while.
Yeah, I just want to shoot people in the face. Right, so, moving on. So, in future updates, they're going to be adding more content to the game. They've given us the roadmap. So, with 3.0, we're looking at trading, cargo transport, piracy and smuggling, mercenary, bounty hunter, Stanton system rollout, and new ships, the RSI Ursa Rover, the Drake Dragonfly, the Drake Caterpillar, and the RSI Constellation Aquila. So, what do you think, guys? What do you think of that?
I mean, it's like obviously the concepts for them are good, and it's what you want with a space game is you want to be able to do as much as possible. But in my opinion, until they bring out the fact that whatever you earn is going to stay, because obviously like armor and weapons and money are going to get reset again before like after the next update and stuff. So a lot of people, including myself, feel like, well, what's the point of using all of these new things in the game if whatever I do with them isn't going to count anyway, and I'm going to have to do it all over again. It's good to like let people know what it's going to be like and let them explore and find out what they might want to be when the full game's out. But it's kind of annoying that you can do a lot of work and put a lot of hours into it if you want to, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, someone could do trading and be like, oh, that was fun, but then never pick it up again because there's no point, because they've already done it once and they don't want to do it over again without having something to gain.
Yeah.
So, DBS, what are your thoughts?
It needs test driving. You need to test drive the hell out of every single mission. So the more it's replayed, the better it is for the game as a whole. And a lot of missions will seem very similar anyway. But I'm looking forward to the whole trading aspect. I want to... It's not the Aquila's first before the Taurus, but I should be able to use the Andromeda to load up some crates, do a bit of trading and that sort of thing. So it's going to be a great way to get into it and check out the vehicle. Driving Planetside. That's obviously going to... I don't think I'm the only one looking forward to driving Planetside. As far as the resetting goes, it's a 50-50 for me, this one. Yes, I'd like to keep what I earn, but there's the balancing act of... I mean, you could say, right, every credit you earn, you keep. Doesn't include equipment. Equipment resets that just gone every time, but you keep all your credits that you earn. But then people might amass like a massive fortune of credits, and then someone might turn around, no, we should reset credits because I've only got 100 and something credits and I'd like it to be reset. So you can't please everyone in that regard. Yeah. It's against the balancing act. But again, we are just test driving the hell out of this game. It's all the test drive. So there's going to be a lot of repetitiveness. And while sometimes I can get bored of this game, sometimes I can not be as bored of just the same. Sometimes I get a lot of pleasure just taking out the Connie Romy and just fixing array after array after array. And sometimes I could just get lost in doing that, and I don't find it that boring at all.
Yeah, well, personally, I'm looking forward to Planets because I can hold the first ever official Ursa Rover demo derbies. That'll be fun.
Oh, that's... Yeah, if you bring on one of those, that'd be great.
But yeah, it opens up more opportunities. Okay, right.
Just do it!
Yep, so I'm going to ask one very, very important question now. Okay, so, Gluestick, you first. What package have you backed Star Citizen with, and what are your reasons?
Literally just the basic Mustang Beta and Squadron 42.
Yep.
Squadron 42 because I want to be able to play that when it's released, as it's supposed to be, or it's people are claiming that it should be quite good. And reasons are behind it is the fact that a lot of the packages for the other ships are quite expensive, and I want to wait for them to release whatever update it is that means I can buy a ship with money gained in-game
Yeah.
instead, because it's a very fun game and I enjoy playing it, but I've not got the resources to be able to just throw money at it.
Yeah, it's perfectly understandable, man. I mean, like you wanna test drive it some more, and you wanna have some more fun. Wait for it to get a little bit more fleshed out before, like you make any more contributions, or you
Yeah.
wanna earn them in game. Like
I'd rather earn them in-game because it's sort of like,
it's more satisfying.
yeah, and if I can do it like that, then like you're getting on the verge of sort of like pay to win kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If someone can just pay at the beginning to have something, then obviously it's their right to do that. But if I can get it in game on my own, I'd rather do that.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Right. What about you, DBS? What package do you have and why?
Well, I went with the tourist package. It was just nice to have a nice cargo ship just to get started with the LTI, and thank you for teaching me how to do that little clever trick. That I got that, and I obviously got the Avenger to start with, you know.
For those of you who are listening or watching, the trick to do with LTI is what you do is you buy something that comes with lifetime insurance, aka a concept ship, and you can upgrade that to whatever else you want. So like you buy it, you can look for something relatively cheap. That might be a $20 or $50 or $100 thing. That's not so cheap, but there could be something on concept sale, and then say you don't like it, but there's a ship you really do want to buy, but you don't want to put real money into it without getting the LTI. You can buy that concept ship and then immediately upgrade it to that ship of your choice, as long as it costs more or is equal to the price of that concept vessel, and you'll have lifetime insurance on that. Because if you upgrade something, now remember this folks, if you upgrade, you keep the original deal that your first package came with, or your first ship, standalone ship came with. If it came with 6 months insurance and you upgrade something that has LTI, you're gonna lose that LTI. You have to start off with something that has lifetime insurance. On that note, also with melting ships and stuff, if you want to melt your ships, you don't get the money back in your bank, you get it as store credit. That's what I had to do, because I owned a lifetime insurance, two Drake jet bikes, a Retaliator, and a Caterpillar. I melted all of those and bought a Polaris with lifetime insurance because I needed it for the organization. It's a long story. We'll cover organizations in another video. But as always, I'd like to say thank you to our awesome guests. So we have Gluestick and Die by Science. Thank you, guys.
Hey ho.
Thank you.
Okay, and catch you guys next time. As always, see you in the verse.